look at it holistically, let's still give the EC the strength, the power to say that I have made this mistake, but with the IPAC people being my watchdog, we are correcting it, and this is how we are doing it. Fair, transparent, everybody is involved. But bringing in an independent, you are making the EC redundant. After they're doing that, are they going to conduct the elections for us, administer the elections on our behalf?
But
it is still the same EC we will count on. So what are we saying?
And for the purpose of those who have not heard our concerns, we have serious concerns about the credibility of the register, because the voters register is the basis for all the elections. So if you get the register wrong, then everything begins to crumble. It means you are building on a weak foundation. We don't have any feedback as to how the progress is being made on the case involving those who allegedly have been arrested here at your commission and so on. And so those of you who have been asking us, if they don't comply, what will you do? This is your answer. On the 17th of this month, the NDC is embarking on a massive nationwide demonstration in all 16 regional capitals. Descend on the Electoral Commission offices, and we in Accra will descend to the headquarters and present further petitions as to why we think that they should conduct themselves in a manner that will guarantee peaceful, free, and fair elections.
The greatest threat to our democracy today is the Electoral Commission. These were the words of Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo. With few months into an election, where the major opposition party, NDC, has discovered anomalies in the voter registration, are calling on the EC for an independent forensic audit. And the EC is also saying, no, we won't allow this. Kingsley, you know, already there was an Afrobarometer report that says that only 30 to 31% of Ghanaians trust in the Electoral Commission. And we've had people who have accused the president, the current president, of fielding the EC with known political people who are affiliated to, you know, the MPP, who are fielded in the Electoral Commission. And people like the Right Honorable Agban Bagby says that the EC have not been allowed to function as a neutral arbiter, and that has hit their credibility a lot. So it looks like already going into this election, the EC is suffering a credibility crisis. So wouldn't you expect that in all their dealings, in all their, say, operations, they would want to fight back to get their credibility intact, rather than give a posture where we are dismissive of any ideas? Is the EC, they are positioning themselves as they are exclusive, it's not an all-inclusive institution and all of that. Is that not worrying, given that we have few months going into this election?
Worrying it is, actually. You know, the EC as it stands now is going to be the foundation of whether this upcoming election is going to be peaceful or not. There's no two ways about that. Right. EC single-handedly is one of the red flags when it comes to whether there's going to be violence, whether there's going to be peace before, during, and after the election.
Right.
One, it's a state institution that is independent of its own self. Okay. So you can't come from somewhere and teach them or tell them how to do their work, except it's in law or is in line with the CI, the laws of our land. It is worrying, like you're saying, but again, Are we delving into the NDC demands or just my general opinion to start with?
Yes, first off, I want us to look at the posture of the EC going into this election.
I don't know, but it seems to me that the EC at every season of its life has one party for it or seemingly for it and another obviously against it. You remember before 2016 where Gabi with some of his folks went out to demonstrate about the voter register and it's not being accurate and not fit for purpose and they were even attacked. Another guy even got his eye injured in the process. I think he's dead now. So the posture for me has always been the same, but it depends on where you stand at what point in time. Before 2016, it was the EC versus MPP. And post 2016, it is NDC against the EC, where MPP doesn't find anything wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with what EC does. And prior to 2016, NDC found nothing wrong. So the posture, I don't see it to be worrying or anything. It has always been like that, but it depends on where you stand.
You know, one will say that, I mean, there are people who are arguing that the person who causes the problem can't be the one to solve the problem. Why am I saying this? NDC discovered anomalies in the voter register, which was admitted by the EC that this was an honest error, so granted that. So if you've already, the fact that you have admitted that this is an error puts you in a very bad position as someone who is inept. Already that has been established. So now there are symptoms or things that breed or broods election violence. And these things don't happen on election day, but they are things that happen before the election day. And one of these things are the fact that you have a voters register where you have almost about 500,000 people who have been transferred to places they have not approved of or they don't know. So on election day, what will happen is that you go to your police station to register and you will not find your name there. And even if you are lucky and they tell you where your name is and you go, probably you might go and meet a very long line and you will be discouraged and that will be disenfranchised. And when you look at our constitution, it says that for a president to win, it must be 50 plus 1. And that plus 1 is not 1%. It's one vote. So it tells you that the framers of the constitution put a lot of credence to every vote. So that is why people like Afarijan are even calling that people who transfer vote, those errors or those, let's call it errors, should be offensive and even carry a treasonable offense. That is how serious it is to try to disenfranchise people. So what NDC is saying that you have created a problem. It would not be wise for you to solve the problem. So for all of us to have a good standing and agree that yes, our referee is capable of officiating this game, let's have an independent body to come and look at the processes, because already they were asking that now the protocols that exist for someone to do transfer without the knowledge of the people, is that something that can be done? The EC admitted yes, it can be done. So they are saying no, then that how do you call it?
Proposal.
That proposal is dangerous. Like what that does is very dangerous, because then if any EC official is somewhere decides that let me transfer 50,000 votes from here, then he can do it and disenfranchise 50,000 people.
Okay.
So I am only saying this so that people will see the graft and seriousness of this thing. So if an EC who is supposed to or has nothing to hide and they are calling for forensic audit and outright you dismiss it, then The optics don't look good. It only tells me, a layman, you are hiding something. That is why you are running away from a forensic audit.
Okay, so let's take it from these three perspectives.
Right.
First and foremost, the EC exists as an institution with human beings working there.
Yes.
One, human beings.
Yes.
And when I say human beings, I hope you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
We can be disappointing. We can make mistakes. We can do things that are not unethical. And mind you, the EC as we see it, it's not just the EC chairperson and her deputies.
Yeah.
No. We have people in the district, people doing things in the districts, in the regional level, before it comes to them. So that is one. They are working with human beings. They are bound to make some of these mistakes. Right. So what I'm saying is that, one, they are human. So that's the first point. The second point is that, see, like any other numbers thing, I know the EC and election is very serious and it's a very serious issue. But numbers game, like statisticians will tell you, they will always have their probability and margin of error. You can't get 100% anywhere. Tell me which election in this world that you will go and you will get 100% without any error.
The best interest doesn't it do?
No, I'm building a point. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So one, there's the human being, you and I. If they put us in charge of a constituency,
yes,
we know what we are capable of doing. We won't even know until we get there. Two, it's a statistics matter. And as the CI stands now, the law as we have it now to govern our election, tabulations and results are to be done manually. I'm building a point.
Okay.
It's to be done manually.
Okay.
And you are telling me that if someone is doing manual, when your boss gives you a list of numbers to sum on an Excel, you make mistakes. And you are talking about over 12 million voters. See, it is bound to happen. Lastly, there's a reason why we have IPAC, the Inter-Party Advisory Committee or something, where you have all the political parties and interested stakeholders in one room as stakeholders. If they have something to hide, would you think that they would deliberately do this and think that, okay, NDC or NPP or any other political party will not investigate, so we are just throwing it out?
What if they sent it knowing the errors and hoping that it would not be discovered?
That's an assumption. That's why I'm saying that there's a committee, so that when there are errors like this, you draw their attention. Like I said, they are human beings. Unless you are telling me that they are perfect because for them, they went to school to learn maybe how to add 1 + 1. So they are. No, they are not. Until recently, Nigeria showed us the way that election officers or returning officers should be PhD holders, people who have doctoral degrees. What were we seeing here? If you go to if you complete SHS and you don't have a job to do and the EC is recruiting, you can join in. You can just join it by virtue of you finishing your degree or first degree in any discipline, and you can be part of the EC team. But now we are seeing that it's a numbers game. See, haven't you seen a video go viral some time ago where they were counting the thing? The guy said 31, 70, and they were all like, hey!
Right.
Not dream, from 31 or 37, but 70. You see, so some of these things will happen, and when they happen, that is where you have to draw the attention. And if they say they are solving it, I don't see why we should bring an independent forensic auditor to come and audit. Mind you, it is nationalistic in nature. It is our nation at stake right now.
Yes.
You don't want to just bring people in. Yes, they have third parties they work with, but would they have access to the register like they do now? They don't. There's a limitation to which you can access some of these things. But if you give them the go ahead to do it completely, we are positioning ourselves for some danger. That is what I'm saying. You can come together as an IPAC, say that, okay, we've seen this, you've proven it because they've even sacked or interdicted one of their district managers.
Yes.
So it means that you have a case. But is it that we have to bring an independent forensic auditor? Then when they do it, definitely we'll find something wrong with the register. Then what? Then the independent forensic auditor will conduct our elections for us.
No, then we would have a credible voters register that would not be the source of confusion on election day.
And I'm telling you that with the perfect voters register, you still have a returning officer saying 37, 70. How is that the EC chairperson and her deputy's fault?
You see, those ones, they can be corrected, looked at, and all
I am
of that.
saying that
those are human errors and all. But you see,
but what happened is not human error.
Oh, you see.
But I'm just telling you that.
But you see, their claim is that, well, you can have a register that would have normal errors like spelling.
There's nothing
names.
like normal in election because you can win.
Very
can win an election with one vote.
Well.
So I'm saying that for us to look at this holistically, let's still give the EC the strength, the power to say that I have made this mistake. But with the IPAC people being my watchdog, we are correcting it, and this is how we are doing it. Very transparent. Everybody is involved. But bringing in an independent, you are making the EC redundant. After they're doing that, are they going to conduct the elections for us, administer the elections on our behalf?
But
it is still the same EC we will count on. So what are we saying?
Well, you see, what I want to say on this matter is that this call even helps the EC to shore up their credibility, because as it stands now, they are suffering credibility crisis. And we as a country, if we don't sit up and speak about the same things that would lead to confusion on election day, and we sit aloof and see these things go by, and those confusion are manifesting on election day, then we have all failed as citizens of this beloved country. So I am saying that, look, why? What would the EC lose when they have external audit auditing their data? Then everyone will be okay that, okay, I can now trust in this referee to officiate a fair game. So please, whatever we can do now to avoid confusion on election day, please let's do it. Let's all not be silenced. This is a nationalistic call. So the Peace Council, everyone should be speaking about this, because if the EC has nothing to hide, they shouldn't be scared of an audit.
You see, the moment you start making arguments like this, I become worried because, yes, they have their credibility issues through the barometer report and all of that, Afro-barometer report and all. But I am saying that we sit here all the time and say we should empower institutions to act.
Right.
And if every mistake an institution makes, we have to bring in
but
an independent...
But not when the institution has proven that they are not up to task.
How did we arrive
to how we arrived? We got here by they detecting votes being transferred without people's knowledge, the register being bloated, and all, which has been
is this the first time we have pointed this out to the EC?
So it shouldn't be a problem.
I am just telling you that they are working with human beings and even systems that can crash tomorrow. So I am saying that if we go this tangent, then it means that they are not fit for purpose. That's what I'm saying. If that's what you are saying, then it means that they are not fit.
That is what they are proving to be. Right now, that is what they are proving to be.
From Afarijan's time, we've always had issues with voters register going into every election. Go back and check. And the latest I'm saying is just 8 years ago, where Gabidans were beating with the Let's My Vote Count Alliance, the more they did. Because they felt there were issues with the register and the EC was dismissing it like you are saying now. Okay. But in the end of the day, that same voters register got them into power. And now they are on the side of the EC. So I'm saying that if there are better ways we should do this, it is the IPAC people should come around the table. Let's do it in your presence. But if you bring in an independent auditor, are you saying that tomorrow, if Ministry of Lands to is not able to fight galamsey, we should bring in an independent minister to come and fight it.
Well,
If
in
we
the
are,
end,
we are
it's
setting a
results
very
we are
bad
looking
precedent.
for. So whatever brings the result. But viewers, do you agree with Kingsley that, look, let the EC clean up the mess they have created themselves,
Yes.
or we should bring in an independent auditor so that everyone can go into this election trusting the EC to officiate a free and fair election? Let us know in the comment section. And whilst you're doing that, don't forget to share and recommend this channel to a brother, a friend, a sister. This has been Sauce and Pepper. Till then, we're out.